Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome to 5 Minute Math, episode 6. Today we're going to be dealing with altitude and medians of triangles. So let's get right into this. I got two questions today. So the first one, in a right triangle ABC, you have AB is equal to 10, AC is equal to 6, and BC is equal to 8. You should recognize right away that yes, that is a right triangle because 6, 8, 10 forms the three sides of a right triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw it in like this. Okay, so this is 10, this is 6, this is 8. It doesn't really matter which is which. And it says, what is the distance from C? So this is C to the midpoint of a B. So if I simply drew up this median right here to the midpoint there, so that's what's called a median, what would that be? Well, this is a very easy thing to do, something very easy to know. If you have a right triangle and you draw in the median from the right angle up to the midpoint of the other side, then this length is exactly half of whatever the hypotenuse is. So the answer is simply just 5. Okay, nice little trick to know. Okay, so the second one, medians are drawn from a point A and point B in this right triangle to divide the segments BC and AC in half. So we're drawing the median, so we're going to go from B to over here. Okay, so that's one of the segments. And the other one's going to go from A to the midpoint, so it's going to go like down to there. Okay. The lengths of the medians are 6 and 2 rad 11. So this is the first one. So this is going to be 6, and this is the second one, and that's going to be 2 root 11. So it says, and how many units are the lengths of segment AB? So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the length of AB. Well, that's the hypotenuse of a right triangle. So essentially what I'm looking for is I'm looking for what is AC squared plus BC squared, the square root of it, right? That's just using Pascal's, or sorry, not Pascal's triangles, Pythagorean's theorem for a right triangle here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so how are we going to do this? What's nice about this is you don't actually know what this length is right here, otherwise I'd be done with this problem. But you do know that this is a median, and so it cuts it in half. So this length will be equal to this length, and this length will be equal to that length. So I'm just going to simply label this A, this B, and this B. And then if you notice, I have a right triangle here. So I'm going to use it to figure out what this is right here, which I know is 6. Okay, so this side length is going to be 2B. That side is A. So I have 2B squared plus A squared is equal to 6 squared. Okay, that's for this right triangle right here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the other right triangle right here. So the other one I'm going to have is I'm going to have B squared plus 2A squared is going to be equal to 2 root 11 squared. Okay, so let's clean this up a little bit. I have 4B squared plus A squared is equal to 36. And over here, I have B squared plus 4A squared is equal to 2 squared is 4, square root 11 squared is 11. 4 times 11 gives you 44. Okay. Now, what is it that I'm looking for exactly? I'm looking for AC squared and BC squared. Well, AC is equal to 2B. And BC is equal to 2A. So if you kind of notice here, look, this is 2B squared, and that is 2A squared. Okay, so it's kind of there. The problem is I have this A squared and B squared. Okay, so what is that? So let's go ahead, let's add all this together. So I have 4b squared, and I'm going to write it like that. So plus 4a squared plus a squared plus b squared is equal to 36 plus 44 gives me 80. Okay, that is what I'm looking for. Well, the square root of it, but that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so what is this? This right here, a squared plus b squared, well, that is the length from here to there. Right? That's what I'm looking for. Sorry, that's what I'm looking for. But that's going to be the relationship, because you have this right triangle here where this is a squared, b squared, and then you have this. Well, I don't know what this is, but since these are medians, I do know that there's a relationship between this length right here and this length right there. And what is that relationship? Hopefully you know what it is. The relationship between this, because this is the midpoint of this side, this is the midpoint of this side, that means that this is half the length of that. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? Okay, so the square root of this will be equal to L, right? So let's go ahead. I'm going to square both sides. So I have AC squared plus BC squared is equal to L squared. So instead of writing this, I'm going to write it as L squared. So this is L squared. And then plus, well, what is this thing going to be? Well, L stands for the length of this. So this length should be L over 2. So this would be L over 2 squared, and that's going to be equal to 80. Okay, so I have L squared plus L squared all over 4 is equal to 80. So I have, just multiplying everything through by 4. So I have 4L squared plus L squared is equal to 320. So maybe go right over here. So 5L squared is equal to 320. L squared is, so take 320 divided by 5. So it's going to go into there, 64 times. So L turns out to be equal to 8. Okay, so there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed these two problems dealing with altitudes and medians of triangles. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you later.